Hello house hunters, it's Donnie Coram with ColoradoSpringsForeclosureDeals.com. Today I bring you 3618 Meadowland Boulevard. Now this property is brand new with a finished out basement that has been converted to a duplex. It's got dual living spaces. It's listed for only $119,000. With this amount of square footage, the buyer paid a little over 160 grand for it. This is a pretty good deal that needs some cosmetic work. I think you'll like what you see. Come along, let's take a look. As we enter the Meadowland property, right out of the gate, the carpeting in this is it's a little dated and a little worse for wear in certain places. First thing we're probably going to want to do is replace the carpeting. Beyond the carpets, though, the windows are kind of the dual pane system. They put some storm windows, the old style wood windows. I'd want to replace all of this with vinyl windows, so definitely have some work to do in putting in new windows. The garage has been converted out into living space. So off to the side here, we have the garage space, and you can tell it was converted because it steps down into this area. And then out back, as we're going to see in a little bit, you've got a huge backyard and a hot tub, which stays with the property. Into this room here, we have kind of a closet area. So, decent garage conversion. I'm not a big fan of the garage conversions, but they did a good job on this one. It shows pretty well. It does add a good amount of living space. However, it would be pretty easy to convert this back to a full garage. You didn't want to put a single car in. Wouldn't take much to knock all this out and just put it back to its original garage form. When we arrive into the kitchen, you'll see it's a little dated, but perfectly functional. It's got an interesting lino floor that looks to be in relatively good shape, not necessarily need to swap out. But just in general, guys, we're going to do some modernizing and updating on this property. It needs work in all the cosmetic areas, but again, $120,000 purchase price against $160 previous retail, and I believe this will probably comp out a little higher than that today. First of the two bedrooms, both are a pretty decent size. Nice high ceilings in here. They painted this into a burgundy color, so we probably want to neutralize the paint colors. And again, we're modernizing the doors. We're adding maybe additional base trim and just general cosmetic rehab on this property. So, as you can see here in the smaller bedroom here, some of the pipe exposed. Looks like they actually put in the washer and dryer hookups, which is very strange, into this room, but we can figure out how to replumb those and put those elsewhere if you don't want them in this room. Other than that, the room is a decent size. Carpet needs to be replaced, and we're going to update the paint colors, but all in all, just a pretty standard rehab. Concluding the top level here is the bathroom. The bathroom's got the standard 4-inch tile surround. Needs to be updated. The lino's a little bit dated. The tub is the old style. A couple options on that. We can go ahead and replace that. Or as a second and less expensive option, I've got a guy who can re-enamel the tub for you. So they basically put an enamel coat of white on it. It's about $200. It takes much less time than ripping that tub out and replacing it. And when he's done, it's going to look all brand new, like you did put a brand new tub in it for a fraction of what it would cost to replace it. So something to consider as a tip for rehabbing this property. That's the upstairs. It actually has a basement, like I said, has been converted out to space, has its own private entrance. Let's go take a look at that now. So we're walking downstairs into the Meadowland property, and upstairs, as you can see here, that's where the private entrance into the basement is. So they sort of converted this out to a duplex. Adding to that duplex theme, you have a large great room as you first walk into the basement. And then off to the side here, they put another kitchenette in here, complete with sink and dishwasher. Obviously, it's missing the stove here, and then there's a location off in the corner for the fridge. So if you did want to rent out the space down here, this lends a lot of possibility, just keeping the upper area as your own living space, and maybe renting out the lower area, or if you have, somebody you want to share the cost of the mortgage with, this would be a good option for that. So down here is in similar shape to the upstairs. The carpet is 70s vintage, so we want to replace that at some point. And then you've got two bedrooms down here as you do upstairs. The first of the bedrooms is really small. More likely better suited as an office than a full bedroom because it's going to be tough to get a bed in here. But you definitely have some space in here to work with. Far larger and more comfortable. It needs a little bit of drywall work here. You can see that we had a little moisture coming in off the side of the house. Highly unlikely that this is a foundation issue as much as we just have some condensation or water coming in off of this glass here because, again, these are really old windows. So we're going to want to replace these pretty quick in order to prevent some of the water damage from seeping into the walls. So something to consider as soon as you do get the property. And you can see the toilet and the vanity are actually pretty new. And then the shower's got a nice tile surround on it. Definitely needs some work in there, but nothing that we couldn't update pretty easily. So again, it's a whole different set of living space. You could again keep 2 bedrooms, 1 bath upstairs for yourself. Go ahead and finish out the basement or rent out the basement, after you do some remodeling. This is that you should be able to just about cover a large portion of your mortgage with whoever you put down in this lower level. So both of you are getting a good deal. The backyard is awesome too. Let's go take a look at that. So we're out back at 3618 Meadowland Boulevard. And the backyard, as you walk out, you walk onto a really nice deck, which is pretty good size. This part is uncovered. And then just a little off to the side here, you've got a little bit of covered patio space that you'll step down into. From there, you really got to see that this thing has a huge backyard, complete with 2 outbuildings. So you got 2 sheds back here for storage purposes, which is a nice touch. It lends itself to the fact that they might have been using this duplex unit and just allowing for some added storage. The hot tub is an included feature with the property. Of course, we don't know about the functionality of that hot tub, but for now it's nice to have it, just something to consider that you may have to replace or repair. And just all in all, guys, this is about a 2,000 square foot ranch here in this neighborhood, Garden Ranch. You're looking at easily supporting in the 160 to 170 bracket comfortably. Today we can pick this property up for $120, so that's $120,000 for a duplex suited property in this nice neighborhood. Really access to Austin Bluffs and Academy. So with that, let's recap. 3618 Meadowland Boulevard. HUD has this thing slashed down $119,000. We can get on this thing quickly. We can still pick up the tax credit for $8,000, and the payments on this thing are going to range somewhere in the $800 a month range. So if you did rent out the lower portion for even half of that, you'd be getting a great deal and not having a lot of payments to make on the mortgage. With just some basic cosmetic fix-up on this thing, guys, we have a lot of equity to gain. Just like this, all the other deals that we show, these don't tend to last long. So as always, give me a call. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 719-649-2500. Hit up the website, www.coloradospringsforeclosuredeals.com, and let me know when the best time to take a look at this or any of our foreclosure properties is. This is Donnie Corum with coloradospringsforeclosuredeals.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.